My name is Matt. I'm the Better Man Coach, and if this is the first time that you're seeing me, this is the quietest video we've ever done because my missus is asleep. Don't want to wake her up, but I've got a video to make. We're going to be talking about rock bottom and why it's potentially the best place you could find yourself. If you've been struggling to make change in your life, you've been making small changes, reaching for it, but not quite getting there. Getting to the very bottom, the worst place you can possibly be, most times is the best place because there's nowhere you can go except up. And that might be cheesy, that might be an overused statement, but for a lot of people, it's true. I'm going to be talking about somebody that's in my program today, so I'm going to leave the names out because I want to keep it relatively confidential. A lot, well, not a lot. Some of the men that have come through the Better Man program struggle with different versions of addiction, be that drugs, alcohol, pornography, gambling. Everyone struggles with the scrolling, continually flicking through Instagram, TikTok if they're really on the hard stuff. One of the men has relapsed, I don't even know how many times. Recently, they had a period of time where everything was going really good. They were back training, things were going good in the career side of things, family interactions were good, everything on the surface level was brilliant. But they have somebody that's close enough to where they're at that they keep poking and saying, "Come here. Do you want more of these drugs? Do you want another drink? Come on. Let's go." Every single person that's watching this that's tried to get off any kind of addiction, get away from it, knows there's these kind of people around you. You know the exact conversation I'm talking about. Somebody that's not ready to step away and start improving their life, and they want to drag you back in because they see that you're getting away from it. This person saying yes to that might have been the best thing that's ever happened to them in their entire life. Strange to think that cocaine and drinks might have been the best thing that ever happened to somebody. But in this particular instance, it reset and reframed how that person viewed the world because they have a family to look after, they have a career that they're very passionate about, and for days, if not a full week, after that one late night into early morning, it caused them to not show up for the family, not show up for the business, not show up for themselves for over a week. That pattern's been repeated over and over and over again for a long time. We've had periods of breaking it, periods of getting into a really good flow where the person has gotten incredible physical results, but also gotten themselves locked into feeling good in their family and building what they're doing in their career. This seems to have been the moment, which all of you will get, when you hit rock bottom and feel like there's no way I can get any lower than how I feel right now. The best thing about that, all you need to do is do a little bit better than yesterday, day after day after day after day. We've all, at some point, felt like we've hit rock bottom. If you think you're there right now, if you happen to be watching this, and I doubt you're scrolling a YouTube channel if you're at absolute rock bottom of a channel you've never seen before, but if you are, whatever it might be, if it's an addiction issue, if it's food addiction, if it's addiction to comfort that's stopping you from getting in and chasing the gym, I encourage you to take one small step. For man, not to quote NASA, one small step that will improve your situation tomorrow. If that's a food thing, that's real simple. Tomorrow, eat one less shitty piece of food. If it's drugs or alcohol or gambling or anything like that, I encourage you to seek professional help. If you don't have the money to seek high level professional help, AA is out there for alcoholics, NA is out there for drug addicts, GA is out there for gambling addicts. There's a anonymous circle for everybody that's struggling with any kind, excuse me, of addiction, where people are giving you their time for a small donation. AA, the way it works, you show up, you make a donation for whatever you can afford. If that's 10 cents in the bucket, they don't mind, they don't judge. If you have nothing, they are there for you to help, well, to give you help. And what they ask is that long term you end up giving back by helping somebody in the same way that you receive help on day one. They're all very welcoming spaces. I think it's probably useful for me to put some links to some of that in the link below. For those of you that don't know, I have been away from alcohol for over 2 years. I wouldn't have ever called myself an alcoholic because I was drinking 5 or 6 times a year before I gave it up. It's not like it was a big problem for me. I feel that the best way for me to lead the men that come into my program is to lead from the front and be able to authentically say, I don't drink. So when I'm telling you not to drink because it's not going to benefit your life, I'm coming from an authentic place where I'm living what I'm telling people to do. It's enabled me to walk into an AA meeting with more than one person who didn't feel confident enough to get in there by themselves. So I've been privileged enough to be inside some of those meetings without feeling like it's something that I need. But what I can tell you from those experiences, a lot of people in those rooms have hit the rock bottom we've talked about and used it as their origin story for where they got their shit back together, showed up and started doing the hard graft, which is doing the therapy. It's talking about the reasons that you've developed these addictions. It doesn't have to be as deep-seated as a sexual abuse or a physical abuse in your early life. It could be something much smaller that spiraled into a much bigger problem that you're now plastering and covering up with some form of addictive abuse behavior. This has turned it into a heavy video. The whispering won't be helping. Without this continuing to go deeper and deeper, I'm going to give you an outcome for this video. That whatever you've got going on, if it's a food problem, if it's a lack of training problem, if it's something a bit harder where you can't stop taking drugs, I want you tomorrow, because if you're watching this now, it's pretty late. This video is going up way later than planned. Do one thing that's going to make it a little bit better than yesterday. Whether that's one pill less if yesterday you took 10 pills, tomorrow only take 9. With food, if you usually eat several pizzas a day, let's scale it back by 1 pizza. Whatever it is, something small, and every day try to improve by just a little bit. If you need bigger help than that, the inbox is always open on Instagram. Whatever your problem might be, hit me up, the Better Man Coach. I have no judgment for any man that's looking to improve. If you're going to bitch and moan and tell me about problems, but you're not going to listen to any advice, you're not going to change, inbox is still open, but I'm going to call you a fucking idiot and I'm going to tell you to get your shit together and start moving. Sometimes all you need is permission from somebody you don't even know on the internet to get your shit together and start doing what you need to do. This has been the quietest video I've ever done. This might sound like an ASMR. Thank you for watching. Hope this is giving you some level of impact and value. That if you're watching this from a dark place, you're going to start looking for a bit of brightness. I will see you in the next video tomorrow. 7 days of videos every day. We're not going to do. Good night.